Friday the 10th of May, dollar index looks like we're breaking lower. We kind of paused here. It's all about this trade deal with China, isn't it? So dollar's under pressure. We've had a little bounce back in the index from 97.23. The short-term chart, the hourly chart, has got a very small trend line, just going back to it's nearly a month old, 3 or 4 weeks anyway. So below 97.35 will look more negative. We did spike below there and then we've recovered, but certainly below 97.35 today should look more negative. On that note, we've got something more bullish in the Aussie dollar. So there is a chance that the Aussie will recover now. We got down to retest the previous low at 69.60. We got down to 62, which was the only really support level of the day, but it held. So we've got this candle showing buyers coming in, pushing the market right back up to where we opened, and we've got a little bit of strength this morning following through, just a little bit up to 70.00. So we don't want to be in shorts anymore. There is actually a chance that this can push a decent bit higher. We've got a small double bottom here, which will be confirmed actually on a break above this 70.55 level, which would then push us up another 90 to 100 pips to sort of 71, up to the 71.8% fib. So we've beaten the first little resistance level at 69.96. That's the 100-hour moving average. 200-hour moving average and the 23.6% fib at sort of 70.10, 70.20. That will be your key resistance for the day. If you're going to try a short, you want to stop above, let's say stop above 70.30, and really I would jump into a long actually. Certainly looking for 70.55, possibly even 70.70. So for New Zealand dollar, we are going to look bullish on a break above this trend line on the hourly chart, coming in at around 66.10. We've got the 23.6%. Well, we've got a lot of overlapping fibs here at 66.22. So 66.10, 66.20 is definitely the main challenge for the bulls today. The trend line, the 200-hour moving average, the confluence of fibs. So we're going to have to get up through, I'd say 30. What's this little peak up here? Can't get it. Anyway, if we get up through, 30, that's going to look quite bullish. So if you want to try a short here, in theory we should, because it is a downtrend, although I think we're going to break higher, but that's just a hunch. Then you want to stop above 30 and then reverse into a long. We're going to look for 60, and then we're going to look for 66, 80, 90 for some profit taking on the longs. Yen's tumbled this week, as expected. Especially after we broke the 100-day moving average. Now we retested the March low, which was at 109.73. We got to 109.46, so we broke that, but we have bounced back above it. So this makes me wonder if the yen will now weaken. We are oversold on the daily chart. Just let me have a quick look at the weekly chart in case I've missed anything. Nope, nothing on there. Okay, so we go to the hourly chart. Oops. Right, there we go. Very steep downtrend this week, as you can see. So really, for me, it's down to the fibs. I will put a trend line on here just to see if that gives us any more guidance. So we've broken above. I mean, it's not even a week old, this trend line, so it's not that significant. But it does indicate we could at least go sideways in oversold conditions. We've obviously got to look for 110.15, 110.20 as our first resistance. By the time we get there, the 100-hour moving average will also be offering resistance there at 110, 115, 110.20. If you are short, you will want to stop above 110.30, and I would actually suggest then that this will act as support, so you might even want to buy into a long and look for 110.55, 60, maybe a little bit further in fact. That 110.55, we get some resistance also from the 100-day moving average. So that would be a nice target if you buy a break above 110.30. Euro yen low this week after the break below this trend line, so I suggested getting into shorts. Now, yesterday we dropped as far as 122.47, but we got a good recovery, leaving quite a positive candle here, showing buyers aggressively jumping in at those lower levels. We're oversold on the daily chart as well. Let's have a quick look at the hourly chart. I'll just draw some trend lines in here. This one's a beauty. Everything lines up nicely. So worth trading this today. I would suggest 123.45.55 is your resistance level. Previous peak we've got the trend, very short-term trend line, admittedly only a week or so old, 100-hour moving average, all in that area. So you can see why that is crucial. If we reject it, down we go. Just be aware that if we only dip as far as sort of 123.10, 123.00, we could form a little inverse head and shoulders here. We could get a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break above the neckline, which would be, well, anyway, we'll have to see where the right shoulder forms. But if it tops here and then bang, then a break above 123.50 would be a really nice buy signal. But I'm speculating because we're way off that at the moment. For today, we break above 123.60. You want to be out of any shorts and you want to be into a long position because 123.50 should offer some support. 123.50, 123.40 would then be support. And I think we'll just head straight up to 124.10, which is where we're going to meet the 200-day moving average at this trend line, which is a bit longer. And of course, the 38.2% fib. So those levels look pretty clear to me. Euro US dollar does not look clear to me at all, although I did have a selling at 112.35.45, this sort of fib area here, with a stop at 55 or above. We got to 112.51, so the shorts are working, well, a little bit anyway. Where do we get down to? 112.08. Okay, there was some profit in that trade, but not really more than 20, 30 pips if you were lucky. But anyway, in this sort of market, you've got to be happy with that, I guess. Today, quite honestly, I see better opportunities, as you've seen, in the Aussie, the New Zealand, the yen, the Euro yen, so I wouldn't really bother touching this. US versus the Canadian remains messy. Not being able to hold any move in either direction if you like that kind of market and you're scalping it, great. That's not for me. I'm leaving it alone. This trend line's been a beauty for gold all week around the mid to high 1280 area. Messed me up a little bit on, when was that? Wednesday, by spiking up to this little area. But every other day it's worked pretty well. So it remains key. And as you can see, these trend lines are converging anyway. So these levels are getting closer and closer. We've got 1287 and 1289. So that makes it nice and easy. Anywhere between 1287 and 1289 is your strong resistance level. Now it's the weekly close tonight, Friday, so if we close above 1291, that's going to look pretty positive. It's going to be a clear breakout of this 3-month trend, 3-month bear trend. So this is just a question of whether if this is a little correction, a little bear flag on the grand scale of things, or whether this is something more serious. It's going to lead to a deeper correction. As long as we hold below here, it will be a deeper correction, and once we get below 1275 again, we can then start trending down to 1260, 1255 area. But as I say, a weekly close above 1291 would look more positive. Above 1225, the 100-day moving average looks very positive. As I scrunch this chart up, I have to say this looks a lot bigger than a bear flag, so I would still favour the bears at this stage, but those levels apply. Silver outlook is negative as long as we behold below $15. We're at 14.80. We've been a little bit lower, so silver outlook negative definitely. Oil has held this really good support level at 60.90, 60.70. Where did we get to yesterday? 60.92. So now we seem to be recovering. As I said, this was key. This little spike lower on the 6th fooled me, but these 3 days, the last 3 days, haven't fooled me. That support level's worked. So let's have a look at the hourly chart. What does that tell us? We've broken above a little trend line, not particularly relevant. We've got some very minor resistance up at 62.55. You can see 200-hour moving average, the red line, 62.35. We're trying to push above there, so I think we can recover in oil. I'm not sure what kind of trading opportunity this offers, but I guess a break above 62.60 or 62.70 could push us up to the low $63 area, 63.30. We've got the 500-hour moving average at 63.60. S&P. Well, we've had some fun in this week, being short. It's worked really nicely. We've been in this steep downtrend, short-term downtrend. Now, we tested that trend line down here at 28.36 we got to. I had 28.32 as one of my levels. Just reading my report. So I set a break below 29.60 targets, 29.50, 48, 29.42. Oh, 42, that was wrong. 40, I should have said. And perhaps as far as 28.35, 32. So we bottomed just 1 point off my ultimate target of 28.35, 32, and then we rocketed. Obviously, I hope you got out of any shorts down there. I'd already got out of my shorts, actually, just above 28.60. Living in Thailand, that was holding by the time I went to bed. So we've now rocketed back up. You can see that we've got a little bit of resistance from the 100-hour moving average at around 28.93. Trend line comes in around 28.97. So as long as we hold below 2900, this looks negative still, and we will remain in this downward trending channel. We start breaking above 2900 and we have a weekly close above 2900. That is going to be a little bit more bullish. We're going to need to get through 2913, 2917 to really look good for the bulls. That 29, 13, 17 area also backed up by the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, which has had some significance in the past, as you can see, acting as support. So, yeah, once we get above 29.20, that's going to look really good. And I wouldn't be surprised to see us retest the previous high up at 29.60 or get close to it. And then we see if we get a decent double top formation, which would be a nice sell signal. Nasdaq held the 55-day moving average on its spike lower. Now if we hold above 75.75, it's going to look quite positive. That seems to be the low so far today, trading overnight. It's a little bit more positive, I'd say, on this chart than the S&P, just slightly. But we've obviously got resistance, excuse me, at the trend line. 76.65, 76.75 is the key level for the Nasdaq today. Above here and a weekly close above here would be more positive for sure. Dow Jones was a beauty yesterday. I said outlook negative, holding below first resistance at 25,970, 990, and look what the high was, 25,994. Targets, well, basically targets anything as far as strong support at 25,460, 450. Well, we got to 25,500, so unfortunately we didn't quite get a buying opportunity unless you jumped in early, but you do have to jump in at least 40 points early to be fair. You can see why we bounced off there. 23.6% fib and 200-day moving average offering the best support of the day. Well, the only support of the day, actually. That was really the only support that I had on my report. So nice if you were short, but you'd had to have covered shorts just above the support area. Well done if you did buy into a long, because what a bounce. We got a good bounce. Let's have a look at the short-term chart. This Dow Jones chart is a little bit messier. I prefer the S&P. It's a lot clearer. Yeah, this is all a bit tangled up here. I'm going to leave it for now. If you were short yesterday, you've done well. I'd look at the S&P rather than the Dow Jones today. I'm regularly asked by my subscribers and my social media followers which is the best charting platform to use, or which one do I use in my videos, my daily technical analysis and trade ideas videos. So I just want to let you know that Metastock is something I've used for as many years as I can remember now. I've tried so many different charting platforms over the 15 years or so that I've been doing technical analysis, and Metastock is by far the best. The quality of the data, you've got to have a platform where you draw trend lines on different time periods, for example, and they all line up. So I've had some platforms where you put a trend line on a weekly chart, you get completely different values than you do on a daily chart, for example. You know, you can't have that. You've got to have something that's absolutely top notch, so that you can trust the data. So without doubt, this is the number one. If you're interested in a free trial, you can just go to metastock.com/day trade ideas. That'll get you a free trial. If you have decided you want to sign up and give it a go for 3 months, you can get 3 months for the price of 1, which is obviously a phenomenal deal. So just go to metastock.com/offer/trial/3 for 1.